Again and again in Mirnograd, it wasn't just the snow falling. A FAB-3000 with a dual warhead, unguided, also struck its target, adding to the destruction on the battlefield. Have you seen the recent deadly strike? A Grad MLRS unit from the 35th Army, in a joint operation with the Vostok Forces Group, launched an attack on the enemy's temporary deployment area in Hulyaipole. The strike destroyed their positions and fortified structures, clearing the way for assault elements to continue their advance in the area. Next update. The crew of a T-80 BVM tank from the 5th Motorized Rifle Brigade, operating under the command of the Tsentr Forces Group, carried out a targeted firing operation in the Krasnoarmeysk sector. During the operation, they targeted and disabled a defensive position and personnel elements of the Ukrainian armed forces, creating room for other ground units to continue their operational tasks in the area. Moving closer to the Hulyaipole sector, units from the 57th Guards Motor Rifle Brigade launched an offensive operation that successfully broke through the defensive lines of the Ukrainian armed forces and secured a foothold around the village. With the support of artillery and unmanned aircraft systems, the Vostok Forces Group continued to advance along the Zaporizhia front to strengthen their positions. In this operation, a UAV operator known as Maloy from the 57th Brigade also played an important role, providing reconnaissance and aerial support that enabled ground forces to maintain momentum and coordination during their movement. In the Seversk battlefield, Russian forces launched a decisive offensive operation. With sharp eyes on the front lines, they discovered enemy ammunition depots, communication centers, and electronic warfare stations hidden among settlements. Artillery shooters from the South Group destroyed anti-tank missile systems, ammunition depots, and electronic warfare stations with deadly precision. With the enemy's path open, our fighter jets penetrated the defenses and advanced to the heart of the key city, marking an epic success on the Seversk battlefield. 4 FAB-500 missiles were launched from UMPK, striking the air defense line of the 33rd Regiment of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the village of Hulyaipole. It was a precise strike that shook the area. The TOS-2 Tosochka crew from the 10th Guards NBC Protection Regiment, operating as part of the Tsentr Forces Group, carried out a powerful thermobaric strike on a Ukrainian armed forces stronghold in the Krasnoarmeysk direction. In the Mirnograd and Dnipro regions, the Tsentr Forces Group is described as conducting intensive operations targeting enemy positions and military equipment, both day and night. To support these actions, strike drone operators carried out precision targeting of identified objectives. The released footage shows damage to several positions, equipment, and communication systems on December 10th, presented as part of a report on frontline activity in the Pokrovsk and Mirnograd areas. This is an impressive Russian drone operation. Look. Drone operators from the Rubicon unit conducted a targeted operation in a designated area, striking Ukrainian M113 armored vehicles and D-30 howitzers. The drones were controlled remotely via a fiber-optic network, allowing high coordination and precision in surveillance and targeting operations without direct presence on the front line. Next, FPV armored vehicles from the 1st Tank Army carried out an attack around Kupyansk, neutralizing positions previously held by enemy forces. A recent explosion in Kremenchuk was captured by local surveillance cameras. Initial analysis indicates that one of the devices used was a cluster-shaped Iskander missile. In the designated operational sector, a Russian mortar team carried out a coordinated strike on a bunker previously used as a defensive position. The mortar explosions neutralized the structure, clearing the way for ground units to continue their movement. As enemy personnel withdrew from the position, forces conducted a measured pursuit to ensure the area remained secure and under control. The operation was carried out with coordination between artillery elements, field observers, and ground units, highlighting the importance of firing accuracy, risk management, and consolidation of territory after the enemy's withdrawal. This activity demonstrates how forces adapt their strategy to secure positions and maintain momentum on the front line while minimizing risks to their own personnel. In a recent operation, Russian FPV armored vehicles neutralized a long-range E-300 Enterprise UAV belonging to Ukrainian forces. This action was part of efforts to maintain aerial surveillance and control, aimed at suppressing enemy reconnaissance capabilities and supporting the maneuvering of ground units. Watch how the TOS-2 multiple rocket launcher system fired at Ukrainian positions in Pokrovsk. Moving to the next footage, Iran UAVs attacked a Ukrainian long-range UAV control position near Sumy. The Southern Group's reconnaissance units identified temporary enemy positions in the village of Ulyanovka. They accurately targeted it with BM-21 Grad missiles, resulting in the destruction of enemy positions. Drone operators from the Vostok and North units of the Russian armed forces successfully destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces NRTK, marking a precision strike that shook the front line. A successful aerial hunt by unmanned aerial vehicle system operators showcased their dominance on the battlefield. UAV crews from the South Forces Group launched attacks by destroying communication antennas and control posts for Ukrainian heavy drones, while also targeting shelters housing enemy personnel. Equally effective, operators from the North Group neutralized robotic platforms, ATVs, and pickup trucks in the Sumy region, while the East Air Defense Group destroyed a Ukrainian heavy hexacopter in Zaporizhia. The assault continued with strike drone operators from the 58th Combined Army Dnipro Group targeting armored personnel carriers, camouflaged combat vehicles, and enemy repeater antennas. Finally, UAV crews from the Central Forces Group concluded the hunt by shooting down an enemy drone in the air near Krasnoarmeysk, reaffirming absolute air superiority. That's all for today's update. Thanks for watching, and don't miss our upcoming videos.